All right. There we go. Let's hope this works. It's not working for that one? No! Welcome, Hunter Master Gaming. Man. Sorry that you're at work. Don't worry, it's a long stream. I'm sure you'll be able to catch some of it. Come on. Come on, show me the money. Let me. And man, you were quick on quick on the run. But, all right. All right. Oh yeah, it is working. Woo! Welcome Hunter Master Gaming and welcome James Robinson. Ugh. Good morning. Good morning and welcome to the stream. Unfortunately, no. This is like my only day of streaming, so only day. I wanted to do a stream and I wanted to do it right. So unfortunately I have to do it today. I'm going to be talking about what's left in 2 hours. But hey, you know what? It's a long stream today. It's going to be 3 hours long. So you'll be able to catch the tail end of it. Oh man, this is going to be great. Come on. I forgot to notify everyone. That'd be a very good thing to do, is to notify people that, hey, ayo, we be streaming. There we go. But woo! Nothing's breaking for once. That is definitely a new thing. So I'm glad it's working out for us. Nice. So let's see. Hold up. Where was I? Am I going to be getting into what was I looking for? I think this is what I was looking for. How do people just start streams aimlessly? I don't know how. Although I kind of like how nonsensical this is half the time. So we be doing it. Oh yay. Well, why won't you let me share my own stream? Don't let me listen to my own stream because no, I don't want it. I have to hear enough of my voice when I'm editing whenever I edit. So and boop. Yay. Alrighty then. To all those that are going to be joining us fairly soon. Yeah, I get it. You can't watch while working. That's because everybody's at work. Yeah, yeah. Trust me, people being at work stops me from having a stream most of the time. I would love, man. If only I could get away with watching with doing a stream at work. That'd be hilarious. Text to speech. It works somewhat. But yeah, it's been a while. It's been a long ass while. And let's do it right. I got my aqua. I got more aqua. I might be getting something better than Aqua, even better. Who knows? I'm still deciding. I just woke up, so I'm maybe not going for the harder than Aqua, but maybe still could go for harder than Aqua. Who knows? This is entirely experimental. You'd think I wouldn't be getting into experimental stream by now, but you'd be wrong. Oh gosh. This is just already going off the rails, and I love it. This actually kind of reminds me of the my first few streams that I've ever did, where slow trickle of people coming in, but in any case, it's still just me sitting in a blanket fort talking to myself. And you know what? We should all do that sometimes because, it's great. It's super great. You know what else was great? That chapter last night. I can't believe you would release a chapter while I was at work and I couldn't read it right then and there. But I forgive you. I suspect it has something to do with getting me back for all those typos all the time. Maybe it's just by pure chance. Who knows? Probably the latter. Probably not. Who knows? Who knows? Not me. Maybe not even V. Maybe not even V knows. But I will say, I've been theorizing up a storm. Another thing I've been doing is deciding what should be on the Christmas album this year. What song should be on the Christmas album? And I'm deciding now. I'm deciding what I want to do now because for the last 2 years for the Christmas album, I've done them like the week of. I've done them like mid to late December, and man, most last for the past 2 years I was recording like 3 hours before I had to leave to go see my family for Christmas. I was cutting it that close, but I wanted to give you guys a Christmas gift. So this year I decided, you know what? I'm going to be proactive. I'm actually going to plan something. And, not everything goes to plan ever. What's hitching me up this year is that I don't know what to sing. I'm not good at parody whatsoever. If it wasn't for Desk, those would never be able to get anywhere close to what they need to be. Jameson's. I've heard of Jameson's. I don't think they have it here, but I heard it's delicious. I'll have to try it next week when I'm off on vacation down to Nolans to see my sis. But I'll try some in your honor. Thank you, James. But yeah, Christmas in August. I love just Christmas all year round. Funny enough, Christmas music, my favorite when it's not in December. No idea why. My work hates me for it. But you know what? I am joyful and triumphant, and you will not stop me being able to sing Christmas music. Because during a blazing hot summer, nothing counteracts that better than a winter wonderland. So, and winter's my favorite season. Snow, my favorite type of precipitation. I think it's a lot of people's favorite type of precipitation, mostly because I don't think people generally enjoy hail or what's that called? I used to know this word by heart. I took a meteorology course. What is that word? Grapple. Grapple is fun, but so rare that I don't think most people know what it is. But you know what? It's fine. It's fine. And Just, I want to see if more people are coming in. But in any case, now I have to make a decision what to make, because what I want for the Christmas music also changes what the cover art is going to be. So the first choice, the first thing I have to do in order to make the Christmas album is is a song choice. And I have a few. I love Christmassy music, but there is a few caveats I put on myself because apparently I don't have challenge enough speaking, speaking or choosing. So I'm going to make it harder on myself. Is that uh, it has it can't be Christmas music. It has to be holiday music. Like religious, like no religion, no the no word Christmas has to appear because it's two-syllable word for a holiday, and I can't for the life of me fit in heartswarming in. I could be like heartswarming, but I'm like, that is such a force, and I would hate myself for it for so swarming. Just call it swarming Eve. Uh, no, that's the wedding. That's what changelings call the wedding, is swarming's Eve. But I can't fit a three-syllable word into a two-syllable word, so I just decided to chuck both those words out the window and hope that I can find out for the best. I used to also have the caveat that it has to be a duet because I wanted Idol to just be like one of the like in the first year, baby, it's cold outside. You have the guy and the girl, and like, baby, it's cold, I got to go away. But I put Idol in the female vocals because he would be trying to just leave because it's like I have to go out into the storm and I just kind of want to get it. I don't want to do it. I kind of want to get it over with, but I was here to invite you to the Christmas party. I was voluntold to invite you to the Christmas party. Uh, and then Moth Chaser was like, well, instead, why don't you just stay with me? I'm sure we can have some fun with some fun on such a cold and blistery day. And then I immediately could not find a duet for the next year. So I went with Winter Wonderland, with Idol just being in that kind of what is go no, this he's playing the straight man throughout the entire song, and I love how that turned out. Now I have to find something else that matches those criteria, and it is challenging, I will tell you. But I think I've been rambling for long enough. I've been rambling for a long time. So let me just close that. we have we have a few things. I have not watched the new Grinch movie, so I could maybe get away with that. I was also thinking of like maybe just doing pony Christmas songs, but then I'm like, is that kind of a cop out? Because they're already ponyified, and then I just stick Idol in there. So I'm like, I'm not going. Last resort, I'm going to do pony Christmas songs like "Heartswarming Eve is Here Once Again" or "The Heartswarming Carol" or something like that. I want something that like would be fun for Idol to be in, either because he's like, no, no, this whole winter thing is terrible. I don't know how you crazy ponies do it every year. uh, or just completely out of his element. And he could definitely probably fit in the role of the Grinch, in all honesty. But I'll I'll have to look into that. That's a great suggestion. But thank you so much. I To be honest, I kind of forget that there's a new Grinch movie because I don't watch commercials at all because my main source of entertainment is YouTube, and I'm like, if this is going to be my only source of entertainment, I don't want to watch ads on it. So I got the premium. So I got Red way long ago. So I don't see any I don't the only time I hear about movies is when people are making memes of those movies. And it's hilarious. And all that all that being said, I will definitely look into that. But uh, I think one of the guys at work suggested like a Frank Sinatra song. It's like something full of love, or I don't want to say cauldron full of love, and that's definitely not it because that's Harry Potter. But it's like something full of love. And it's a duet. And it's a winter song, so it fits all the criteria. I just have to look it up and see if I'm going to be doing that. But enough me rambling. What am I saying? You come here for me to ramble. But in other news, congrats to V for a new baby nephew. Baby nephews are awesome, and I'm sure you'll love them. Also, congrats to the new chapter. Loved it. Fantastic. I think it's just going to be us, yeah, fast for this stream. Everyone else seems to. Is everyone just busy today? Did I pick a terrible day for everyone to just be busy? Or is everyone just happens to be at work? I don't know. Maybe people are just like, you know, yeah, everyone just happens to be at work. Yeah, I get you. I get you. It's interesting. It's interesting though, because Sunday's usually like a kind of everyone's kind of free all day kind of deal. So to actually be as slow as it is today is kind of intriguing. But you know what? We'll roll with it. Like I do everywhere else. I'm just a person. I'm just a monkey in front of I'm just a pony in front of a microphone talking to himself in a padded room. There is nothing wrong with that, and it's perfectly sane no matter how many times the voices tell me otherwise. But in other news, more agua. And unfortunately, last stream I figured out that my microphone was set up wrong. So everything's just super quiet in this chapter. But I also don't want to re-record it because it took me 2 hours. Welcome, desk. Yay! Well, we got a new person. Welcome. 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 Also, no. But yeah, I've been theorizing up a storm. I probably already said that. Probably definitely already said that already. That does sound familiar. Although I'm already always doing up a. Anyway, no, we're good. We're good. I didn't set up my microphone right, so now everything's quiet. But I can't re-record it because that was 2 hours of recording and I don't want to do it again. Just because I find out in the last 10 minutes that my mic was on too quiet. No! Why did it start it off at 60%? It's supposed to be 100% recording. Ah. I know I can do it over, but will I do it over? If you're not a coward, that is. Bold of you to assume that I'm not a coward. I will fully admit that I'm a coward. And who knows, I might be able to do the whole thing in 2 hours because there's not that many people here to distract me. But I already have a hard enough time editing these things. That's why I'm going to be doing them on stream now, even though I feel like that would be boring for all y'all to watch. But who knows? We could just do some fun stuff with that anyway. Well, I'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll just see, because who knows? I was also planning on streaming with my laptop. I've got a good laptop that would be able to do the streaming, but I'm still missing one thing from it. So, well, not missing one thing. I'm afraid to start a streaming on my laptop because then I have to deconstruct my laptop rig, put it on my desktop rig, and it's easier now, but it's still going to be a pain until I get one more thing, which is just a charging cord, which is stupid because a charging cord shouldn't. Yeah, no, I'm not going to read Shattered Skies on stream. I could read Idle Daydreams on stream. Or Idle and the Super Tired Prince and Super Sleepy Prince. What is the name of that fic? I'm so sad that I can't remember the actual name. And the extremely tired princess. See ya, James. See ya. Have a good one at work. I could read one of the idle fics. Welcome, Lucas. Welcome. Glad people are coming in now. Because I was just ranting. We have a whole 20 minutes worth of rant now, which is great. Because I know all y'all love me when I'm at my rantiest. Yeah, definitely my rantiest. I still haven't decided yet whether or not I want to do a spoilers stream. If enough people want me to talk about spoilers for the new chapter, I will. But I still haven't decided whether or not I want to. I have not decided whether or not I want to do it because there's so much to talk about, and I don't want to wait 2 weeks in order to do it. But at the same time, there's so much to talk about, but not everyone has read it yet, and 2 weeks would be common courtesy for the spoiler warning to come down. But at the same time, I really want to talk about it. Who knows? Like, if people want me to talk about spoilers and my thoughts on the chapter, I will definitely. What did I hit? Did I hit with a door? That's so far away. How did I hit the... Oh, that broke off. Why am I playing with this PVC? Why do I even have PVC? I keep forgetting why I have this. I don't know. I don't, like, especially why do I have it in my recording booth? My recording closet. Why is this here? Probably not important. But if you want me to do it, if you guys want me to do it, I'll do it. If you don't, let me know, and I won't. Definitely turning out to be a ball stream. Maybe we won't get as ball as sea shanties, but who knows? I do love a good sea shanty, and I'm in a singing mood. You want me to do it? Oh, you want me? Yeah, I had a feeling. I definitely had a feeling, and I also want you to not do it. Welcome, Lucas. Figure that out. Well, Thing is that everything would just end up being your fault due to Rule 7. Is it Rule 7 or is it Rule 4? Or is it Rule 3? One of the rules means it's Desk's, everything is Desk's fault, which you counter with one of your rule saying that it's all Drake's fault, which I then counter is that means that me not having to watch the apple yet is all Drake's fault, which I'm perfectly fine with. And yes, I did bring up the apple. I'm still playing. Is there a place I could put this? Where did I even get this? Back on the PVC pile with you. Why? Okay. PVC pile looks stable. Okay. But doesn't Rule 3 say that everything is Desk's fault? I'm pretty sure that there's one caveat where it's like, well, everything is Desk's fault eventually. Who knows? But yes, news going on. It's new chapter, new bebe in the world, as well as now I'm at 200 subs, which I don't really talk about myself because I absolutely hate talking about myself because because this is V's. This is V's work. I just sit behind a microphone and talk. So thank y'all for subscribing, and here's to the next milestone. Should I promise if we get to 500 that I'll do a drunken stream? Maybe. I don't know. You get one every year anyways. I don't want to talk about myself because I hate talking about myself because no, that is, but definitely that is not something that will happen because I hate doing it. I hate doing it. Even me talking for like a half an hour on what I'm doing behind the scenes right now is hard enough for me to do, let alone be like, congrats everyone, like, subscribe, and comment. Nah, I don't. I don't. Yeah, I'm not there. I definitely don't think I'll ever be at that point where I'll self-promote. Let's see. What order do the rules take precedence in? Does an older rule prevent new ones from taking effect if contradicting? Make amendments difficult or new rules overwrite older ones? That is very interesting. Also, welcome not telling. I would ask you who you are, but you're obviously not telling. So, welcome to the Dad Joke stream. Welcome to the celebratory stream for 3 different things. And welcome to the stream that we deny Desk that... Desk, you can't boo me for every time I do a dad joke. It is in my blood as much as it's in Idol's blood. Does Idol even have blood? Now, there's a question. We know he has some form of fluid in his body, but it's green. So does that still count as blood? And if we count that as blood, is sap blood? Technically, yes. Is the blood of trees? Watch you. Okay, I'm watching. I'm watching with full intent, Desk. I'm watching so hard right now. Never bet against a Sicilian when death is on the line. Does Al need to know he is a dad to make dad jokes? No, because it is just. I think there was discussion in this in the server once, but I think we came to the conclusion that you don't need to be a dad. You don't need to know that you are a dad to be a dad to make dad jokes. It's it's that you make dad jokes so people assume that either you were gifted with the power of being a dad or that your talent is being put to waste. Please have children so that way they can suffer through all these amazing jokes. The power of the dad joke is within all of us. Some people resist its tempting light, such as desk. But others, such as myself or Idol, fully embrace it. What was it? I was talking about something, and I've completely forgot. Does the latest chapter mean he's having his midlife crisis? That depends. How there's always been there's always for me, I've always had the headcanon that changelings are like not immortal, but just kind of like they're kind of fey like forever young kind of deal. They can still die, but only if they're killed kind of deal. But other than that, they'll just live forever kind of deal. But V says not in the Idol verse. Idol does have a set age, but he has not confirmed whether or not it's as long as a pony's a lifespan. So he very much could be having his midlife crisis now. I mean, he definitely, and to go with the dad jokes, he definitely has the dad bod. If anything about his uniform attire a few chapters ago was anything to go by, the straps shrinking and all that. And I remember listening to this podcast a while ago. I remember the a podcast a while ago that says, is a midlife crisis a midlife crisis, or is it just people suddenly realize that they suddenly have time, energy, and money at the same time to get what they always wanted to get? And usually for most people it's a car, so they get their dream car. And is that midlife crisis, or is it just like, wait, I actually have money. I have a good amount of money in order to do this. So let's do this. So that was their argument, that midlife crisis isn't a midlife crisis. It's just realizing that, yeah, I was responsible and good enough with my money that I can actually treat myself with this really big expenditure. So they do. Idol doesn't need to know someone who's pregnant. No one needs. He really doesn't to be a dad, because he can just be a dad to Cirsus. To Cirsus. Oh my gosh, the chapter Cirsus. Great. I love Cirsus. Although she definitely wasn't. Grislis did note that Idol was very healthy. He was very, very healthy. That's true. Whether that's in uh, whether that's in his eating of uh, eggshell stew, or the or just like the emotional well-being that he's in contact with, where he was very healthy. He was very healthy. I'm sure one love-filled hug from Cadence would make any changeling very, very healthy. So this is another question for changeling biology, and I love how a little bit of it was revealed in this last chapter. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to be going into spoilers. This is everyone's spoiler warning, because I love talking about this stuff. Who's going to have a midwife crisis? What is midnight? Who is quizzes? Midwife quizzes ducks. What is? It's funny. But what's a quizzes? I have no idea what a quizzes is. I have to look up what a quizzes is. I'm not an encyclopedia like you and V are. Hold on. Quizzalis. Oh! Oh! Oh, okay, I get it. I get it now. Quizzalis. Midlife Quizzalis. This is... What is this quizzes? What is... I looked up quizzes. Why? What is with this? Oh, it's an Elmer Fudd thing. Okay. Identity quizzes. But why? Why is... that is a very specific word. Why? Tell me why. As is said by Elmer Fudd. Okay. When the quizzes is sus uwu. Yes. No, I said uwu. No. 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 Okay. I haven't watched Elmer Fudd since I was a kid, so it was kind of lost on me. And mostly because I only know the wabbit season, duck season thing. Elmer Fudd does kind of have that energy. Well, I'm about to say something controversial. According to a lot of people that I know, bronies, if you're really looking at it, are just a subspecies of furry. So aren't we all Desk? I still won't be taken by the anime, but I can fully embrace the furry. Yes, I agree. Yes. and that one line of dialogue will upset both sides of the thing. Furries, they'll be like, no, we don't want to be associated with bronies, but with bronies, they're like, no, we're definitely not furries. We're just into horses. Hey, yes, it is, and MLP is animated, but as I've been told many a time by people who watch anime, I just can't call all Western animated stuff anime, even though anime is short for animation, because it's specifically for Eastern animation or a style of animation. And horses have fur. So this is yes, Lucas. This is exactly what I was saying when I was saying that bronies are just a subset of furries. We just kind of stick to ourselves. But most bronies that I know have gone on to just have not left the fandom, but have expanded their fandom into the furry domain. Technically horses do have hair, not fur. I think some horses do have fur. Let me look this up. Google, where are you? Google, tell us. Do horses have fur? Do all horses have hair or fur? All mammals have hair. There is no difference between hair and fur. There is no difference between hair and fur, according to Grammarphobia. changeling.com. So technically, we have humans have fur. On a technical level, humans have fur. So do horses. Okay, basically magical girl anime with horses. Therefore, if you like anime, you will like Precure. If you like Precure, you'll like Shattered Skies. Oh no, if you're into humans, you're a furry. Hair is often stiffer. I love this. But yes, according to grammarphobia.com, which I didn't research any further than that, or else we'd be here all night, there is no difference between hair and fur. All humans are furries. Yes. Absolutely. I mean, a horse's coat can be as floofy as a dog's. So, hair can let's just say hair can be stiffer, but so can fur. I've seen some fur that is fairly stiff. I'm going to try and not count porcupines because that seems like something that someone that knows about animals is going to argue against, because it's like, oh no, it's a quill and it's a feather or something. I don't know enough about porcupines or animals to say whether or not that's the stiff quills are actually hair or not. But if you think about it, all hair is, I'm afraid to look at this picture, but all uh, cool, it's anime stuff. Uh, cool beans. Uh, th- I was never a fan of EQG, except for Rainbow Rocks, because Rainbow Rocks is the best. The Sirens, especially, greatest villains in MLP history. Uh, I mean, kind of, but no. Yeah, I'm going to go with no. So, no. But what is hair and fur, except just what is fur but just tightly packed hair, and what is hair but just dead skin? So, and fur, I'm guessing, is also just dead skin cells to make a coat. So, so hair and fur, same thing. There might be some technical differences, but on the whole, they're the same. Is hair not dead skin? I could have sworn hair is definitely dead skin. I know there's like follicles and whatnot. They're their own construct. It so was my probably my second grade teacher. My second grade science teacher was wrong, but I could have sworn that they said that hairs and nails are basically dead skin cells. Could have sworn. I don't know enough about human biology. I know more about horse biology than human biology. It's only used when you can make a coat out of it. Hair is not dead skin. That's dandruff. They breathe. No, they breathe. They are alive. Is hair alive though? It doesn't need blood. It don't need blood to live. But you can kill it. So I will just say that this is uh I I will put this discussion at I don't know enough to be useful for this. This is beyond the scope of this argument. Oh, so wait, if hair and nails are made out of keratin, isn't hooves also made out of keratin? And so, wait, fur is all. If you're saying fur is only used when you can make a coat out of it, you can definitely make a coat out of horses. I uh, I believe. Anyway, it's just not many people do that because we like horses. Well, what are hooves if not huge toes? Exactly. And I will. Don't make me get into uh, the humans into horses thing, because everyone does that transformation sequence different, and I don't know enough about anatomy to say what, and I know enough about anatomy to get me in trouble with that subject, but not enough to know whether or not they are accurate in their judgments. Idle toes. Maybe. Well, we also use hooves interchangeably for hands as well. So he would be idle hands, maybe at worst idle feet, but idle hands would be a probably better thing. It's because we have uh because we just happen to have different names for both our feet and our toenails, but horses, they just have the nail, and then you have the frog underneath, but the whole thing is called a hoof. Very famous on the idle feet. Very famous on the internet. Oh God, no. Are their mouths open during the transformation sequence to avoid their lungs bursting from the decreased air capacity? Probably. If not, it'd probably be expelled through the nose. Also, their mouths being this is another thing. Ponies have giant lungs. Okay, here's another thing that equestrian. There is difference between pony anatomy, and horse anatomy, and I can't decide what the show has decided on, because according to my very limited research, horses can't breathe through their mouths. I could be wrong on that, but if from what I remember, horses can't breathe through their mouths. It's only through their nose. Their esophagus and bronchi are on completely separate tracks. Again, I could be wrong. This is from what I remember. This is from what I remember from limited research I did on the subject, and don't ask me why I did this research anyway. So, in all honesty, they can't like cough. Horses can't really cough or choke on anything, because they that it's just completely separate tracks from what I remember. Also, horses walking is part of the circulatory system, which was another thing I didn't know. It's also somehow their running is also tied to how hard they can breathe. The horses are fascinating. Would a mule in MOP be able to? Pinky gasps. I think we see from Cranky that you can get choked up by emotional feels. Yeah, they can't vomit. They're physically incapable. So, according to show lore, they MOP has a lot. The anatomy of horses in MOP are more in common with humans than they are with real life equestrians. Baked bads cause volume. Yes, exactly. So, I don't know what Precure is. What is Is this an anime? What is Precure? Anyway, so from and also another thing that they never make clear in canon is that okay, I'll look in chat. Okay, I'll look in chat. Oh, such a fluffy horse. That's a very floofy horse. Uh, I don't. What is that? Okay, I'm just going to wait for people to keep responding to that to just scroll it off screen. And I have no idea what pre-cure is. So, that's from that one Flash game. Oh, I have cursed items from a mobile game if we ever want to get into it. Another thing is horses' hooves. Now in MLP, they're never shown to like get chewed or anything, which is probably uncommon or only for like hard work like farming or something along those lines, or their nails are just happen to be tough enough to withstand that kind of thing because magical pony magic. But does the nail cover the entire hoof? Or is it like equestrian, or is it like normal, or is it like earth horses where it only surrounds the hoof, but the bottom of it is still a sensitive frog that is used to pump blood around the body. That for me, I'm like, there's so many things that you can apply to. They break wear so they can probably resist loss. That's true. I also talked with with a guy I know who is roommates, who is engaged to, and is roommates with a bunch of furries. He is engaged with one, not engaged. They're not engaged. Anyway, he's living with a furry and kind of considers himself a furry as well. And we went into a world building conundrum. Would anthropomorphic horses get shoed, or would they wrap their hooves? And he made the argument of they would totally wrap their hooves for hard work, because shoes are only really needed because concrete and asphalt is tough. So they walk on paved roads. Well, the nail itself is not sensitive. And that's what and that's what the shoes are nailed into is and burned into is the nail itself. But and that's why horseshoes have that specific shape, because the frog itself is very sensitive, and a botched shoeing is when they miss and hit the nerves of the frog. They might wear boots when they get technologically able enough for certain conditions, but he argued that they would mainly just stick to wrapping their hooves. Welcome, All Star, and you're getting into a very interesting conversation we're having here. So they probably can magic. So I don't know if they have leather working. It's interesting. They could just easily use cloth to wrap their hooves. So we're talking about horses IRL compared to MLP horses, but yes, a good shoeing does not hurt the horses because they are driven into the nail of the hoof, not the frog, and that's why it's done, is to one, protect the frog from the hooves being ground down from walking on pavement, and that's also why they're nailed in to keep the shoe from falling off. Because welcome back, James. Oh gosh, that is one hell of a way to come back. I hope for you for the best. Comically resistant claws, not even magic, just cartoony socks. And so socks are an interesting concept because the way the fandom has portrayed socks makes it seem more lewd than anything else. Although, would that be the case in show? No idea. Uh, but uh, but also, I don't. I haven't watched. I've stopped watching the show like halfway through it, so I don't know the entirety of Applejack's outfits. But horses' hooves aren't sensitive. Would a pony's be? Is a great question, and there's just not enough information to go on. That's why I'm wondering. Does is a pony's hoof nail go all the way around? Is it covered in a is it the same color? Is their nails the same color as their coat, or is their fur going over the the typical nail of the hoof? Uh, seeing a bit des. Um, Rayburn's jacket definitely looked like leather. Maybe only Earth ponies do. Who knows? Who knows? Like, this is why I liked the look of Big Mac in shining armor, especially in the show, because they showed unshorn hooves. But it also created a complication because if you have unshorn uh, uh, fetlocks, does that mean that fur is just covering regular ponies' nails? But then that's also debunked when Applejack gets uh, what the episode where uh, Rarity is jealous of Applejack or something like that, and so Applejack goes highfalutin fancy in order to just upstage Rarity. It's the one with that. Uh, it's that one with the. I can't remember the episode name, but you kind of get what I'm going for. But she looks at her hoof. She's like, she got a she got a she got a hoof cure done for the whole bit, and she can see her face in the hoof, but still the same color as her coat. So there's either no boundary or there is a boundary, such as for Shining Armor and Big Mac, but that's not even a common thing. The simple ways, yes, that's what it is. Is a foal that eats glue ostracized as a cannibal. They use a ton of glue. The Crusaders use a ton of glue, making Cheerilee's Hearts and Hooves Day card, and they don't address that. So, who knows? And we're not. Or maybe they just have a different way of making glue, like a sap or something, or magic or something like that. But uh, it's hard to track down pony anatomy because it seems to change with whoever is writing the episode. if if it was shown that that ponies' hooves are covered in fur or something like that, fine. Weird, but fine. But they're the same color as the coat, but sometimes they aren't, and sometimes they match the mane and tail. There is so many things. I appreciate the design of unshorn fetlocks because they just look cool. But it throws so many things into a weird thing. A weird, like, maybe not, which is why I derive most of my anatomy, pony anatomy from fan fictions, because funny enough, it's generally more thought out than the show. Which is fair because they have fanfic authors have a lot more to have headcanons and also a lot longer format to delve into the intricacies of that stuff. Maybe most ponies have the same color hooves and ones that are considered fashionable? Long derail is long. Well, if you want a long derail, come back for New Year's. But uh, but then, uh, yeah, I love getting into long derails. It's great, and I promise that this is a ball of a stream. And so, how could I not deliver on that? I like fashion ones that aren't are considered fashionable. I mean, maybe, but at the same time, it's like if unshorn fetlocks are fashionable, you would think there would be more fashion centric ponies attempting to like uh, do that with their hooves, like painting them with a different polish or what have you to get that same look. But we only ever, I think, we only ever see it on a select few male horses. Uh, uh, Between show and fanfic. I've yet to see any marble pillars get knocked over. Hey, what's up, guy? What up, P-Drake? Welcome to the stream. So, we're talking about horses and ponies and their and what is it? So it's only in a very select few. I think there's only 3 examples in the entirety of the show. There could be more, maybe 4, probably 4, from off the top of my head. There's Big Mac, Shining Armor, Rarity's dad, which I don't know the name of, and Troubleshoes. Oh no, no V no. Hotels suck, but I mean Discord technically has an unshorn fetlock, but uh, I think his is specifically a donkey's leg, not a horse's leg. Uh, I'm not entirely sure on that. I think it's cloven. I'm pretty sure it's a cloven hoof, not a hoof, a horse hoof. Oh yes, yeah. Shovel dude, and also shovel dude. Uh, so like very big, strong ponies. I would almost be like it's an earth pony trait, but then Shining also has it. But then he is also like a peak. He's in peak physical fitness, but he's also a unicorn and usually relies on his magic than physical strength. So it's like a weird gene that very few ponies have. Also, Rarity's dad is also a unicorn. So it's very random who has shorn and who has unshorn fetlocks. So, and that's what drives me crazy. I would almost be like, everyone has unshorn fetlocks, and then ponies get their hooves done to make it the same color to be fashionable. But then his name is Hondo Flanks. What? And then there's G5 where everyone has unshorn fetlocks. Exactly. This is why it's been driving me insane. And this is why it's been driving me insane. So, there's no confirmed reason for why these ponies have shorn or unshorn fetlocks. Look, and if it's also, I think Fancy Pants also has unshorn fetlocks. So, random assortment of ponies have them. Most don't, but the ones that do are all males, but not every male has unshorn fetlocks. So, I don't know. So she might not be completely. So he still might not be completely a unicorn anymore. And all hippogriffs have unshorn fetlocks. Yes. Yes, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Are the evolutionary future of ponykind, or is it a throwback to when they were more running along, uh, more of a nomadic culture? This is the thing I can go on for hours about if you let me, and unshorn fetlocks definitely look better than just the solid color, but yeah, that's the thing is like it's only in males, so it's a male trait, but not in every male. So it's strange. It's very strange. Don't know if it'd be a throwback. I, the only reason I think it could be a throwback is because most of the ponies that have unshorn fetlocks are the ones that are doing are in simpler ways, kind of deal. Not everyone see fancy pants, but they're generally either working on a farm uh, or doing hard labor of one sort or another. But then there's the hippogriffs, which that could just be a stylized thing. So, yes, the king, literal king of them, does, and we don't see Sombra's hooves. So who knows? Yes, and also Kieran's, but we're just limiting this to equestrians at the moment because creatures can have different phenotypes and whatnot. Yeah, Shining. Yeah, I've put Shining up, but it's like Kieran's also have cloven hooves, with and they're I think in mythology they're more akin to deer than horses. So there's that. There's that. Yeah, they're not ponies. They're like a mix of dragon and deer, if I remember my mythology right. G1 had all males with unshorn fetlocks and bandanas. That's how you could visually tell that they were males. Oh, okay. And if we go with the theory that all of MLP happened within the same world, then unshorn fetlocks would be a throwback to that. Um, is Shining Park Kieran like Twilight is? Nice, but so, but yeah, that like, but yeah, there's huge theories about G1 through G3 being part in the taking place in the same world as G4. It's just G4 takes place thousands of millennia later, or thousands of years later, and the ancient pony homeland was where like the heartswarming tale comes from was actually Ponyland, or where G1, G2, and G3 took place. Then they fell into war, and then the Wendigos froze over everything. Then they moved to Equestria, and then they became G4 horses. The timeline artist will throttle you. uh, or did Arceus meet up with Celestia millennia ago? So, uh, I'm the one who makes the timeline. But yeah, that's the theory, is that all generations of MLP just take place just in the same world, just in different time periods. And G4 is the one that takes place outside of Ponyland, because Ponyland got frozen over by Wendigos because everyone felt a hate. So there you go. And that's why you can have similar names passed down through generations, like Applejack or Rainbow Dash or Twilight. They're like family names, not necessarily like same characters. We do not talk about Gen 3 and 3.5. Yeah, I know we don't talk about Gen 3 or 3.5, but for the sake of the theory, we do. And the style could just be, and the different iterations of the show are just stylized. If anything, I don't think they physically changed that much, unless we believe that G1, that they were close enough to humans that maybe it's a branch off the evolutionary tree from horses, and then the Rainbow Bridge closed off, and then they evolved into their own being. But that's, again, beyond the scope of this argument. Gosh, I've been talking too much without water. Oh gosh. But yeah, that's just my reasoning for why unshorn fetlocks are more of a throwback than the evolutionary future. Yes, they do look nicer than it, but they do look nicer than just the single marshmallow. But you know, it's it's all theory. And then if Gen 5 were to come around with everyone in unshorn fetlocks, then I could also see that. Although them being all their hooves being unshorn actually fits the idea even better, because hear me out, because if unshorn fetlocks were a trait that were given to ponies who were doing generally harder labor than, and it's like a stronger hoof structure. Bear with me. Then when the tribes split off, then that easy way of life, that harmonic way of life, they would devolve. They went. Yes, exactly. Yes, Lucas, you're on the same page with me. They basically devolve because without the benefits of all three tribes working together, they lost society. So no magic. Everyone has to do things manually. So they have to do generally more hard labor, and then harder hooves became back in style, or became part of the evolutionary trait. Hoofily, yes, manually, hoofmanily, yeah. Wouldn't it be merrily, 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 merrilo? Because it's not, because we're not replacing hand with hoof, we're replacing man with mare, like everything in the show does. So merrily, there we go. Let's go with that. So yeah, that's my theory for shorn versus unshorn, and it's because yes, exactly. That's the word we're going with. That's the word we're going with, Lucas. So yeah, that's my theory for why unshorn fetlocks exist. They're evolutionary throwback that still make it in, and yes, it looks nicer, but it's harder hooves when they're not needed, and more. And since they've had generally peace for the last 1,000 years, males have been trending more towards solid color marshmallows. And if that harmony had kept up for millennia, then it stands to reason that since they wouldn't have need for the harder hoof structure, that it would eventually be like unheard of. But since magic disappeared, and and then boom, everyone has to do things merrily again, and tribes fighting against each other, so they're no longer have such an easy lifestyle. Then it gets back in, and harder hooves make for easier work. So It makes sense. Oh, I didn't start out thinking I was going to do this theory, but I'm glad it did. I've been talking for over an hour, and I haven't done any recording. No. What do you mean it heat? It burns? Uh, James? But yeah. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk about equine anatomy. But yeah, that's my theory for why shorn versus unshorn. It would be interesting if if mares also trended more towards unshorn hooves, but I could see a reasoning for that. But you know, another wonderful stream on random facts that we tossed onto the train tracks. Yep. Oh no, not. Oh, hurt. Oof. No, Desk. I have not read Shattered Skies yet, but we have created a theory for why, for shorn versus unshorn hooves. So there's that. The question, and also shorn versus unshorn hooves. G5, since it's a lot more detailed, it also, I believe, in the art, in some of the animations, they show a hoof and frog structure, not just a solid nail. If I'm remembering right. So there's the answer for whether hooves are solid or not. Still doesn't explain the magical field, although there's plenty of stories that do. My favorite one is my life as a bipedal quadruped, and they explain it as basically your magic field that surrounds your entire body. Ponies are capable of shaping that on their hooves in order to grasp and manipulate objects, and another use of it is to push dirt off of it, which is what you do before entering a house. So that also is another reason why horses don't have to wash their hooves all the time, and why you can just stick hooves in mouths with no ill effect, because you push off the dirt first, and you just do it naturally because you've been doing it all your life. So that way you have a clean hoof before it makes contact with anything that might get dirtied. Anyway. Oh man. Man, definitely a ball stream tonight. Though I was planning on streaming for 3 hours in celebration for V on becoming an uncle, a new chapter being released, and for me hitting 200 subs. Thank y'all. So it's a celebration. Welcome, Lord Hedges. Yeah, he put in the author's notes on the last chapter. So congrats, V. Welcome to unclehood. So, but yes, congrats, and another fantastic chapter that I can't wait to dig into. Welcome, demo. Welcome. You're good, Iron. You're good. I mean, we've just talked about horse anatomy for an hour, so so that's what you missed. And we still got another hour and a half to go. Let's do this. Let's go. I would have gone an extra 2 hours for the for I was going to be like, oh yeah, 200 subs, add on another 2 hours. But then I thought that was setting a very dangerous precedence. So it's for every 100 you get an extra hour of the day, the time I do the stream. Eventually we'll do like, oh gosh, I can't even imagine doing a 24-hour stream. Please don't, please don't make me. Yeah, my chair creaks every time I move. I know. I know about it. Quick, so we get the bot accounts. No. No. At some point you'll have to do a 25-hour stream. I know. Although if we somehow get to the point of a 25-hour stream before I finish this book, I'm going to be sorely disappointed in myself. I'm going to be sorely disappointed in myself. Which is why I'm also going to be doing editing on stream. But I don't know how interesting that'd be for all y'all, so I don't know. Are you secretly Admiral Biscuit in disguise? I don't know who Admiral Biscuit... I've heard the name Admiral Biscuit. I can't place it somewhere. Although, if it's someone well-known enough that it's not hard to grasp people, the series is about deserts, specifically desserts that look like... No, I have to go read Admiral now. No! No! Yeah, and this stream. No. Hold on, let me look up Admiral Biscuit. Admiral Biscotti. I don't know how to spell biscuit. How do you spell biscuit? That's a... Oh, with a U. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm looking up Admiral Biscuit now. Do it. No. I have not seen this. I have not seen this user before. I am somehow following him. So apparently I ran into one of his stories before. But I don't know how. Wizard of the White-tail... okay, I'm getting distracted. But this seems very, very interesting. It's spelled A... Okay, thanks, desk. Thanks. It's spelled ADMIRAL space BISCUIT. Okay, sweet. Thanks, desk. Thanks. Very, very helpful. I've never had biscuits with tea. Although I've also never had tea before. Or actually, I haven't had proper tea before. I don't even think you can get proper tea here. So, or at least not easily. I could probably get from like, I don't know, a health food store or something like that. How sinful. That's why you come here, for all the sinfulness that happens. Yeah, but I've never had proper tea. I think I could get iced tea. I don't think it's like Arizona tea, whichever one who's had tea says that Arizona tea, iced tea, is not tea. So I don't think it's possible for me to get actual tea. Like how it's impossible for me to get an actual mead. Why are there three different types? Why are there two different types of biscuits? I'm talking about the flaky biscuit, like they serve at Carl's Jr. or McDonald's. Are there different kinds of biscuits? I know that over there they call chips that you call fries chips, and chips some and you call fried chips, and you call chips crisps. So I don't know. So a cookie? A chocolate chip biscuit. Okay. All right. I don't know what this conversation is. Man, can we agree? Can we all agree that the best cookie is a homemade oatmeal chocolate chip cookie? No raisins. No, I hate raisins, but oatmeal chocolate chip is absolutely fantastic. And if you haven't had one, especially homemade, the best. Second greatest is like the chocolate chunks from Costco. Don't like oatmeal? What? Oatmeal's. I haven't. I will admit, I don't like oatmeal by itself, but in a cookie, it's delicious. Also, there's this cookie called no bake, a no bake cookie. It's basically peanut butter, oatmeal, butter, and cocoa powder and sugar. And it's so good. It's so good. It's the one that I make all the time because it takes like 15 minutes to make up. Soft gingerbread with lemon juice. Red Hots? I'm not a fan. Hot tamales? Nice. I love me some hot tamales. Red Hots? Eh. They're not objectively inferior. How dare you? You are talking to a bunch of horses here, Desk. we love our oatmeal. To derail to chips. Yes, exactly. Welcome to the stream. Also, welcome MQ. Blocking and reporting all-star. Also, apparently you don't call scones. What you call scones is not what we call scones. Because to me, a scone is like... What's hardtack? I don't know what... Hold on. I need a British translator. What's hardtack? What's hard? Oh, saltines. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Saltines. It's kind of like saltines. It's scones. I'm not calling it scones because I'm not French, but scones. Desk is a desk, not a horse. But yeah, saltines. I do enjoy a good saltine, especially in tomato soup. Saltines is fantastic in that. These are a little bit thicker than saltines that I'm used to, so probably tastes very different. So it's a cracker. So scones are scones. But I heard that what you guys call scones is not what I call scones, or the majority of my state calls scones. What you describe as scones, most people around here would describe as biscuits with fruit in it. But for us, scones are fried bread. You know those Rhodes rolls? The easiest way to make scones is you take a Rhodes roll, you thaw it out, squish it into a flat patty of dough, and then shallow fry it, or you pan, and it's delicious. You pan fry it. So good. Only way to eat Navajo tacos. And then if you have a little bit extra, you got some honey butter, you got some dessert with you as well. Scones are delicious. Oh yeah, no bakes are fantastic. Like my third favorite cookie. Yeah, all star. That's what scones are, really dense pieces of bread with raisins and stuff in them. That's what people around here would call a biscuit. That's a biscuit. That's a very dense biscuit. But yeah, scones. Let's see. Uh, Fry bread. It, so it's technically called fry bread, but we all call it scones. Tonight on the live stream, Knox talks about food. That's it. That's the live stream. Oh man, this is great. How does it have anything? I don't know. We just call it scones. If you come here and ask for like a Navajo taco, they're going to be getting what we call a scone, and then you have taco stuff, and then you put it on the scone, and then you eat it. It's delicious. And then you have for dessert, then you just dip it in honey butter. Yeah, I'm also getting hungry too. But so weird. But yeah, if you come like out west, this is what's considered a scone. Uh, I'll 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 send an image into the Discord. Uh, Man, these are really good looking. I need to get these recipes for these scones because they are fantastic. Oh man, they put honey butter on it. Ah, in this one, I'm saving this one to put in the Discord. And this is a biscuit. Oh no, this is not a biscuit. This is a scone. If you ask for a scone here, this is what you'll get. French toast, fantastic. Haven't had it in months. I don't usually eat breakfast because I don't wake up until like 10:30. I'll probably be getting some Little Caesars or McDonald's or something after the stream because I don't want to cook. Ooh, I could go to homophobic chicken or a sandwich place nearby. That is dinner. Apparently, American English is closer to Old English than English. Yes, I've heard that too. English created soccer first, but then football just never made it across the pond. So you're the ones who made soccer up, and then we just copied you, and then you're like, we're going to call it football now, and we're like, no, it's soccer. You're the ones who made it up. You're not changing it like this on us. Oh, those are some nice biscuits there that you got there, All Star. Those are delicious looking biscuits. I can go where? Probably there's only like a few places to eat around here. So it's either like Del Taco, McDonald's, Wendy's, Little Caesars, or if I want to go a little bit farther, a sub place that's much better than Subway. It's like really good subs. Uh, a second sub place, which is it J&J's? Not J&J's. That's a plant place. It's the one that everyone makes fun of for being really fast. Homophobic chicken. That's what we call it. That's what me and my roommate have come to call it, is homophobic chicken. I think you mean American English. You put the quotes around the wrong words. No, it's American, because American English is just a combination of like 12 different languages. Jimmy John's. Yes. I knew it had two J's in it. Jimmy John. I haven't had Jimmy John's since the last BronyCon, so I might get it. I haven't had that in ages. Yeah, either that or the other sub place. That's a bun with glazing. That's some biscuits, and that's some good eating. Oh man, I'd love the argument over scones and biscuits in the Discord. uh, I I haven't seen Dunkin' Donuts since I crossed the Midwest. It's just not available here. Oh gosh. Uh, well, we just call it homophobic chick. It's Chick-fil-A. It's Chick-fil-A. We have a Chick-fil-A around here. And we make a joke every time someone buys it for us, saying, "Why does homophobia taste so good?" but in any case, that that is getting dangerously political. So I'm just going to nope right out of there. But yes. Uh, Also, a thing that I learned about is that the imperial system is standardized by the metric system. Like, the officially an inch is equal to 0.4 is equal to 4 millimeters, I think. So is equal to 4 millimeters. So no matter what, we're still using metric. We're just using it in a roundabout way. How can you have biscuits without putting gravy on them? All-Star, no. How could you do that? Maybe it's like, I know it's 4 something. Maybe it's like 0.4 of a centimeter. I can't remember. I'll look it up right now. Inch to millimeter. Okay, so maybe it is centimeter. What is this? I remember that there was a conversion. What? There was a conversion I saw. It was by Tom Scott. Great channel. Tom Scott, fantastic channel. He did a thing about like standardizing the metric system, and now I can't find out. Oh, maybe it wasn't 4. Maybe it is 2.5. Oh, 2.5 centimeters is. Although, why would they use a quarter? You know what? I'm just going to leave metric versus imperial. I appreciate the metric a lot more, but I kind of have to use the imperial because I don't know how to convert that in my mind. So. I mean, actually, if you want to get really technical with it, nowhere is actually fully metric. because we still use a 24-hour time, 24-hour times. Because technically in metric, you would split the day into like 100 hours or something like that. So technically, not all metric. The timekeeper is still full imperial. Which no one wants to deal with metric time. Also, read a fantastic book the other night. Highly recommend it. It's called Project Hail Mary. It's by the same guy that wrote The Martian and Artemis. Great stuff. Highly recommend it. I just wanted to get that off my chest. Okay, I'm going to try and read now. Which is probably going to go very, very poorly. It would be a very funny clock. Also, we could definitely organize our months so they're all even, but no one wants to do it. Uh. I saw this perfect representation of a calendar year. Every month was even, and every single day always landed on the exact same day of the week. And it was so nice and it was so perfect. And I'm like, why can't we do this? But then I'm like, no, but because people are too stuck in their ways. The only place you come for the fanfic and stay because he gets drunk, sings sea shanties, most of all, sidetracks with random stuff. No, we're not doing what. I don't even know how to count in. What is base 10? What's base 10 time? Is that just our number system? Okay, I'll be with you on base 10 times if that's the case. If that isn't the case, then no. Why do we segment it in 12s? Why not in 10s? We only have 10 fingers. Why did someone like, you know what? 12. But we don't have any 12 fingers. Well, maybe the guy who invented time had 12 fingers, and that's why we're in a base 12 time zone. Who knows? I I can't scroll up. Hold on. I'd have to go to YouTube in order to scroll up. Let me scroll up real quick. I don't know. I don't know base. I barely. I may be all about that base, but I'm terrible with base numbering systems. Sumerians, if you actually do 100 seconds, 100 minutes, 10 hours, that time thing, yes, 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 yes. Why can't we do base 10? 10 hours. 10 hours a day. Base just means what you count by. Is that it? Oh my gosh. No one's explained that to me. And I've been too lazy to research it. So is that why people say, when they say binary, they sometimes say base 2? Blowing my mind. That's not supposed to happen until I'm reading the dictionary that is basically V's vocabulary. He failed on the fingers. Yes. Man, from all those conversations, let's talk about the aftermath of Lord Deface. I am so far behind. I'm never going to catch up at this rate. V is just blazing past. And things over there represented by combinations by the numbers. Oh my gosh. I remember there was a Tumblr post. Wait, do horses count? Lucas, this is a very important question Luke has just proposed here. Would horses count in base 2, or would they count in base 4? Because they have 4 hooves. because that changes distinctly. Ah, gosh, no, I don't want to count a base 16. Uh, Pegasi have feathers and wings, and unicorns have horns, but then they all seem to use the same analog clock, so maybe it's like a combination of everything together. They could still get base 12? Is that what it is? Base 12? No, not base 12. What time system are we in? Is it what what is our time system? Base 4 is so cursed. That's the thing, is that would horses count in base 4 because they have 4 hooves? Because we count in base 10 because we have 10 fingers. So would, but then we also don't count our toes, or else we'd be counting in base 20. So so it's a mess. There's an argument for either base 4 or base 2. But then I can definitely see Celestia putting her hoof down and be like, you know what? I'm the one who raises the sun. I'm going to decide what time means. I also saw in a fan fiction that Equestrian Day and Night are perfectly split. Because why wouldn't they? They don't have to deal with random rotations. So they have a 12-hour day and a 12-hour night. Exactly half and half. Although that is kind of destroyed. They use their teeth like we use our fingers. Oh gosh. And base 10 was a neutral comparison unification. Like, thing is it makes sense if Celestia and Luna controlled the sun and moon to make day and night cycles completely even. But then you have the summer solstice, which is the longest day of the year, the longest day of the 1000th year. So that means it means that it's not even. But then I'm like, why wouldn't it be? It's not like they. So all else being equal, if they can control the time the sun and moon rose and set, then they would be perfectly equal. And yes, to attempt to be equal rulers. Exactly, All-Star. But it's not, because we have the summer solstice. We have the summer sun celebration, which is canonically the longest day of the year. So I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's just an arbitrary, but it specifically says in the first. Don't forget that time they did when Nightmare Moon and Discord returned. That's true. That is very true. There also is a shortest day, but we don't seem to celebrate the winter solstice unless that is combined in with Nightmare Night. Is Nightmare Night secretly the winter solstice? We've only seen. So okay, so from a meteorological, from someone who took meteorology in high school, the seasons, since they are controlled by by ponies themselves, means that that various things, them getting it done on time, as if there's a time limit, there is, because the first day of spring is the spring equinox. That is officially the first day of spring. The summer solstice is the first day of summer. The autumnal equinox is the first day of fall, and the winter solstice the first day of winter. We've only seen there's only one episode that I recall in the entire show where they're setting up for the winter solstice, and that is tanks for the memories, so they don't focus on it too much. Why are we still talking in bass? I want to get away from this as fast as possible. So, my most favorite time is being turned into a because of math kills me. I get it, math is hard, but I'm trying to pull this away. Demo. I'm trying. Iron. Come on, we're pulling this away from Math Central. But all these nerds, including myself, keeps on traipsing back to it. So I'm just going to keep steamrolling forward. Ooh, someone new joined. Welcome to the mid-house. Also, I love how every server that I'm in, that I introduce people with "Welcome to the Madhouse," everyone without fail always steals that, no matter what. It's great. No, we're not talking. I don't even know what I never took trig. Okay, I don't know, or calculus. I don't know what a log is. So anyway, and so I did. I told her of my misgivings, of my assumptions that the princess had intended to send me upon a forced vacation, of the unnaturalness of the pink demon, of my disconcert with the Bilkmore brothers, of Shining's findings, of having my morals. Oh gosh, this is a terrible read of the first sentence. I don't know what log is. All-Star. I have no idea. That was too. I just liked long division with quadratics. And this is not long division with quadratics. That's the last thing I remember from my math classes. We're not talking about math anymore, okay? We're stopping talking about math. Stop. Well, at least we ain't doing anything involving biology. Hey, evolution is interesting, okay? Oh gosh, they're still talking about anime in the Discord chat. We're staying clear from that one. Want to go back to the horse's hooves? I think I've said everything that I've needed to say. I think I've said everything I needed to say about horse's hooves, because I created a theory with supporting evidence to show that my theory has merit. So we're just going to leave that there. Also, cutie marks make no sense. I'm actually going to officially make it canonical that Equinox doesn't have a cutie mark anymore, because I kind of just randomly chose that while I was an angsty teen in high school. So I'm just going to yeet that off into space. Except for his canon appearances, because canon Equinox has a cutie mark. OC Equinox doesn't. But have I defended my thesis yet? Oh gosh. It's a half sun, half moon, because I'm like, equinox equal day and night. And that's why solstice is named solstice, because he's like he's not equal in balance power. He's either has too much on one side or the other. So that's why my equinox and his alter ego solstice are named such ways, because I was a teenager. And that's the reason why. Me personally do not have a cutie mark. Changeling, so I don't have that problem. Fair enough. And now I've evolved the character so much that Solstice isn't even an Earth pony anymore. He's a Tatzel pony, which is a whole host of other things, because he's a forest spirit. And why did I make his backstory so complicated? I'm like, I'm going to have a forest spirit. as my OC. Nothing wrong can come from this. Oh man. But yeah, that's I'm Equinox might just have a Cutie Mark II blend in with the populace, because technically as far as I've written the story, I've written Nox's backstory, no one knows that he's the forest spirit. People just think he's a, like, what's that word? Uh, Mortidomo, or whatever that term is for a person who either speaks in the name of the king or emperor, or the person who Matrodomo. I don't know. Wormpone. Yes, I'm actually drawing Wormpone. um, match or like advisor or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it is. So there's that. I might actually have to go get more water. I've ran out of water. And normally this is the perfect time to end the stream, when I run out of water, but I wanted to go on for a little bit longer. Major Domo. Yeah, so ponies just think that he's kind of a major domo. Welcome back, V. You're walking into Equinox's backstory. Oh, you've missed. I don't know when you left, but you've missed either the confusion between biscuits, cookies, chips, and fries, the as well as scones. He's not a butler. He's definitely not a butler. Or you've probably also missed the what base numbering system do equestrians count in? And now we're going into Nox's backstory. We can keep him from narrating anymore. Oh man. But yeah, I think Major Domo is the thing that fits him the best, just because that's the only. Because Solstice doesn't want to deal with ponies. He just kind of wants to garden. So Solstice is just there as like a go-between. Not a vassal, though he is a vessel, but not a vassal. Oh man, what is that word? Major Domo probably fits the best, though. Means the administrator of someone else's goods. I mean, yeah, probably. Although Butler has a different, like, connotation than Major Domo, so I know there's a few stories where Major Domo is a thing. Like, I even heard that, like, basically he's the secretary. Yeah, let's go. Let's go with secretary, regent. I have no idea. He's basically to deal with the public facing side of things. Manager could work as well, but doesn't sound as cool. Regent, probably. No, we're not getting any Karens in. We're not getting any Karens in here to talk to the manager. But he's definitely a vessel for Solstice's soul, or power, I should say. But Nox isn't in charge of doing things. He's just kind of a go-between. Ambassador, that emissary, also works really good as well. Steward, yes, steward, fantastic. Yes, those names definitely work really well. Lord, I don't know enough about Lord structures to to know what a lord does. Because if someone also said Baron, I'd be like, isn't that just a lord? So, and I would have no idea. They could say no, and I'd be like, okay, so Baron and lord are completely different things, and I have no idea what I'm talking about. Really poorly defined job position. Exactly. You could say his job position is to just be the host for Solstice, although not all the time. Hence why Nox has a cutie mark to just kind of disguise the fact that he's not fully a pony anymore. Welcome back, Hunter Master Gaming. But yes, he is in charge of the He is slightly in charge of the Everfree, although I have no idea how I should phrase that backstory of him being in charge of the Everfree, because Everfree was kind of mean in the first few seasons, but it got better and better. And so I'm like, maybe he was captured, and that's why Everfree became like wild and untamed. And then his reintroduction to everything basically made it so ponies could traverse the woods again without being nommed by a timber wolf. Or maybe he was in charge the entire time, wanted to kind of be left alone after like a backstabbing incident. But then through the power of friendship and flowers and ponies and blue, made the forest more tolerable for pony kind. This would depends on how you're invading the Everfree. If you're just strolling through the Everfree, that's fine. If you're actively disrupting the biosphere of the Everfree by like destroying habitats or something like that, then yeah, this would be probably considered war. Because, you know, it's his home. He doesn't want people crapping all over his rug. So I could blame it on the plunder vines. That's true. He has no opinions on base 10, biscuits, or the metric system because he's lived in a forest for the last few thousand years. And me plus axe equals many bits. Also, you plus axe equals many bits. Also, maybe a hoof up, a boot to the head from Solstice and Equinox combined. Fire-based clearance strategies is not really, no. Yeah, they would not be tolerant of that. If you made a deal with Nox to be like, hey, if I cut down these old trees, would that be all right? He would probably be like, fine. But if you're going to like mass deforestation, the forest would fight back whether or not Nox is part of the whether or not Nox or Solstice is part of the thing. Who wants to start a logging company? Oh no. Don't you dare touch. Well, thing is that if you think about it, would Celestia and Luna have claimed back their castle? Why did Celestia move out in the first place and just kind of abandon everything? You could say that she didn't want to be reminded of Luna and their battle, and the castle was too damaged and all that jazz. But they left a lot of stuff back there. So it seems like after the battle with Luna, something happened with the forest enough to make them evacuate. Like short notice evacuation. And then if you're replanting, that's probably fine. For every tree you take, you replant it. As long as it's not mass deforestation, you're probably fine. Because the forest will fight back, and it has shown to fight back many a time. So yeah, that's what I think happened, is that the reason they moved to Canterlot is because basically something happened, not that might be related to Nightmare Moon, but probably not, that caused them to basically be like, we're out of time. We have to evacuate immediately. We have no time to even gather stuff. It's like, women and children first. Then onwards to Canterlot to become the capital city. But you'd think Celestia leaves a lot of stuff behind everywhere she goes. But she left many tomes of knowledge and dangerous artifacts unprotected in the middle of a forest. Sure, it's a death forest, but you would think that she wouldn't just rely on, oh, it's safe. It's a book on a shelf in an unguarded castle in the middle of a death forest, which sometimes doesn't actually kill people. So it's free real estate. It's ever free. Yeah. Is it really unguarded? But you just wonder, like, what caused them to abandon it so quickly? Because they left so much stuff there. Like, if it was something that happened over time, like, I assume that there, like, maybe it might have been a village surrounding the castle, because there's usually a villages surrounding castles and whatnot. You'd think, like, all the houses are probably all decayed into nothing. But you think that they would help move some of her stuff with her to the new castle that they were building? And not just be like, we're just going to leave these ancient tomes of knowledge to rot? To your OC's backstory. I know, it's... I don't know how we got on Equinox's backstory. I do have to carry the saws and axes. No. Property taxes just became too high for Celestia to pay. But yeah. I don't know how the whole evacuation to Canterlot happened in Idle Story. V, if you want to plant some, give us some of those juicy lore bits, I'd be more than welcome to it. But that's my headcanon, is that something happened that disrupted the kind of thing that happened that allowed them to build there in the first place. The castle was built before the Everfree was there. That's very true. So my question is now, is that, was the Everfree basically a direct counter to the ponies controlling the weather? Everfree, during the one attempt to deforest Everfree and the forest sprouting around the castle. Oh, okay, that makes sense. I'm pretty sure that this was like in one of the Everfree chapters, but I don't have an eidetic memory of this book. Not yet, anyway. And therefore, classes, I don't know, decapitated? I don't think it's decapitated, but... I stand the Element Tree of Harmony. Basically, it was like, oh no. Either way, the land is forfeit. Yeah, but when you have a spirit enforcing the will of the forest, you kind of listen to the will of the forest, especially if it's a murder forest. But yeah, it's also like the Tree of Harmony. They built the castle there to basically be in like the center of harmony, and then they moved away from it, and they left the elements there as well. They left everything that they went to the castle to. They basically founded their country on harmony, probably from like defeat of Discord. They're like, we're going to be sat on top of the most powerful source of harmony if he ever manages to break out or invading lands. And they just abandoned it. Everything. I wonder if the spirit has a New Zealand accent. Bits go clatter, clatter. Can't really steal the elements, though. I mean, you can steal their rock forms. You can steal their rock forms. I know, like, it's said in the show that the main six don't use the elements, they are the elements, or something along those lines. But then they never use that, so I don't think I think they forgot to. Someone worthy to take them. Maybe, possibly. I might have to take a quick refill this water break because I'm absolutely out of water. My throat's so parched right now. If Celestia tried to prevent new mayors from taking them, she would be against harmony, and thus she would be the new villain. True. Very true. But yeah, she left the elements out there in the open. I know the rocks were kind of important for the elements to appear since they appeared out of the rocks. Depreciated, probably. Big crown thingy. So like the rocks are useful for the elements to be used. So someone could have easily stolen the elements, or Celestia could have taken the elements with her to lock in her vault. Because, you kind of don't want your most powerful defense to just kind of go away. There's Rainbow Rocks. I think they sat there for 1,000 years, but that's hindsight. You don't know that going in. Yeah, sure, Celestia sometimes has the gift of prophecy, but not always. Considering how many times she's been captured by things, and how much of a meme it is that she and Luna don't do anything to face off against world-ending villains. So, I mean, the most active that they were was with Tyrek, and even then, they had a very bad hiding space because they could have taken Tyrek because he was only powerful enough through Discord's help to take their magic. So they could have just kept their magic, have all of them be there, and then just beaten the hell out of T-Rex. and then they wouldn't have had that issue. I mean, she at most dilapidated. Dilapidated. I think that's it. At most, she would have lost the element of magic, would have like vanished into the ether. But the elements of themselves, they're stoned. They're literal balls of rock that can easily be moved and crushed by when Nightmare Moon does it. So it's not like she couldn't have taken them. She could have easily taken them. Fisher King situation, the kings were wounded, so the land... Okay. Failed to uphold harmony between her sisters, so the elements thoroughly rejected her. Okay, so the land turned wild. Okay. I can see that. Although Celestia brings a lot of order into the world, even with all the pony madness. So they need a little bit of chaos, so I always have thought that Everfree was to the chaos to bring back the world back into balance from the order that the ponies were enforcing over it by basically taming the seasons. Although the way they tame the seasons seems to leave the world at large in a much worse state because they're actively going against nature. Yeah, sure, it's probably made Equestria green and fertile and all that jazz, but they probably screwed over literally all their neighbors. Dragons don't care about it because they live in lava, but like look at Cludgetown or Griffinstone. like they're in ruins, and I don't think that it's because of of bad government, like a toppled government. Voodoo for dummies. Oh no. Oh no. The wound can begin here. Ergo, the Everfree becoming more and more tame. I can I can see that. Although I wonder if the danger of the Everfree was just kind of over exaggerated. Because other than like the few tricks that Nightmare Moon pulls on the main six, they don't really encounter too many issues in the forest. Yeah, yeah, they don't encounter any issues with like the flora or fauna in the forest when they're getting towards Nightmare Moon. The only fauna that they ever have issue with is Poison Joke because they just walked through a patch of it, and the plunder vines, which aren't even part of the forest's ecosystem. Things move. The weather, animals, uh, animals take care of themselves. The and the seasons change. Like it seems like the seasons in the Everfree change with the seasons on the outside. I even read one fic where it said that Pony started arguing again after coming to Equestria, and since everyone was so sick of everyone was so sick of cold that the Pegasi basically is like, okay, summer all year round, and then that started to bake the land, and then they're like, oh no, we can't have the land bake, so they tried to water the whole place to try and bring it back up to green, but then they were causing massive floodings, so put their weather they basically based their weather cycle off the Everfreeze because they're like, it's cultural now because because in the beginning we were too afraid of letting it go by itself because we mess with it and we broke it. So now we just do it because we're too afraid of so it being out of our control again. uh, Chickens that make you rock hard and lions with stingers. Yeah, that's definitely not dangerous. I mean, other than darkness, dangerous terrain, manticores, and the timber wolves, totally safe. I fair. There's dangerous animals, but there's dangerous animals everywhere. Um, but yeah, the story is called. Oh man, what's it called? It is. Oh, come on, where? I'm probably not going to find this. It's Equestrian Landings, is what the fix called. Great story. Too bad it's kind of dead right now, unfortunately. So it's just basically like they just and then in another series of fix, which I actually helped out bring to print the first book at least, was Full of the Forest, where they basically like the uh, weather is tightly regulated uh, from Cloudsdale because it's like their only resource. Perhaps not in a question. Even the most dangerous animals from our world seem pretty tame. I mean, that's probably also magic because it seems like the magic of nature in and of itself brings a little sapience to every animal, because like even the very dangerous animals like timber wolves, even the mega timber wolf, yeah, that's a terrible episode. That was a terrible episode in and of itself because it's a Spike episode, but it still showed some intelligence. Same with like Angel. He is definitely highly aware of his surroundings. Uh, and I know that there was an episode where Angel and Fluttershy switched bodies, like in Freaky Friday or something like that. I haven't watched the episode, but feel free to spoiler me on it. But it's like, it seems that just due to the magic of the land, animals have sapience. And looking at Clutchtown, it seems like, as an example, the one time Fluttershy wrestled a bear to give it a back massage. Well, that's from Twilight's perspective. She was probably just doing some advanced, like, sport massage tech type of techniques because those involve a lot of stretching and whatnot. But we also know that Fluttershy isn't a slouch either, especially when it comes to animals. Look at "You're Going to Love Me" for example, as well as the bear thing. It's not so much that they're tame; it's that ponies are still pretty strong in comparison. If humans were part of the equation, it probably wouldn't be in the similar vein because we don't even know what size we put ponies in comparison to ourselves. Most theories that I see rate the height of a pony from hoof to tip of ear is around 4.5 to 5 foot tall. Whereas like Big Mac's a little bit bigger, maybe the top end of 5, and Celestia is like over 6 feet, maybe even going on to 7 feet tall. So let's just say 6.5, maybe 6.5, 6.5, 6. So it's like they're pretty sizable in comparison to all these creatures that they're taming. And plus, Harry the Bear is I think the name of that creature. He's like basically a patient of Fluttershy's, so he has implicit trust in Fluttershy. He might roar and grumble and whatnot, but he's not going to attack her because that's like biting the hand that feeds, and she literally feeds all her animals. She also feeds her animals other animals, but we're not going to. But they don't ever talk about that. Those poor fishes. I guess fish just don't have that much sapience to matter. I'm going to retreat for a very quick second to gain more aqua. There is that one episode where Scootaloo says 8-foot candy cane. There is also that episode where the Spike's birthday episode, where Rarity says how many carrots the gem has that Spike is using, and since they're using carrots, someone said like, well, this is how big a carrot would be, and they're like, yeah, they're only like a few inches tall. Like, size is relative in this show, but like if you kind of like average out all the insane said heights of things, then it kind of falls into 4 foot 4 foot tall zone. Okay, I'm going to grab more water real quick. I'll be back in just a minute. Tequila. All right, I'm back. I needed water. Sorry. Sorry. I went through 2 liters of water already with this stream. I needed more water. This is what you get when I have to talk for so long. But I'm back now. Let's see if I can sneak in a paragraph while everyone's waiting for the stream to catch back up. And so I did. I told her of my misgivings, of my assumptions that the princess had intended to send me upon a forced vacation, of the unnaturalness, the unnaturalness. And so I did. I told her of my misgivings, of my assumptions that the princess had intended to send me upon a forced vacation, of the unnaturalness of the pink demon, of my disconcert with the Bilkmore brothers, of Shining's findings, of having my morals questioned by the very element of loyalty, of Princess Luna's illness, of how I failed her, and of how I sought to make things right. Of course, I was now to be partially responsible for her recovery, and I told her of my newly discovered orders. Playing Skyward Sword and listening to Austin John's walkthrough. Nice. I heard Skyward Sword was pretty good. Never played it, but I heard it's a good game. It is very tear-jerking. Yes, demo showed me this fic, and gosh, it's so good. But be ready to 1, hate Celestia, and 2, question everything, and 3, cry. So word of caution. And I told her of my newly discovered orders. Cryo 7, COTG, and the Savage Sky series. Some of my favorite fics on this site. Everyone will be like, My Little Dashie, or Rainbow Factory, or Scarlet Harvest, or what have you. But those are my my favorite. Some of my favorites. I was also reading through New Beginnings as well, which is, for me, a much better take on the... It's probably less accurate, but for me, I like it a lot more than the Baked Beans series. You might have heard of it, yes. Oh, man. That just reminds me of the one time someone's like, I need a story to read. I'm like, The Village Called Respite is really good. We were literally in Carapace's server. Village Called Respite. Oh, man, I need to finish up Village Called Respite. That is such a good story. I don't read too many news stories because every time I read a story, I binge it. And then I don't do anything else. So, take that with what you will. She nodded, having a better understanding of the matter than even myself. I know you're still explaining Precure, and I'm still not reading it. No, I refuse. I will still blatantly refuse. Just because it's funny. And it's a meme now. There we go. Let's see, can I do a topaz? First time, first shot. First try, first shot. Idle. Here we go. It actually makes some sense. No reproduction outside of the hive permitted. She's controlling the population of the changeling exiles. Too many people out of her control. It's very, very harsh, but it might explain a few things. I got Drake into it, I'll get you too. You can't get me into anything. Even things that I want to get into, I can't get myself into. So what luck do you think that you'll have in this matter, desk? Little desk. I will say, a great anime, which is probably not even technically an anime. Castlevania. I've only watched the first 2 seasons. Heard there was more. Might eventually watch it. It actually makes some... Actually. Idle. There we go. It actually makes some sense. No reproduction outside of the hive permitted. She's controlling the population of the changeling exiles. Too many people out of her control. It's very, very harsh, but it might explain a few things. We are not a people, Topaz. We are not a people, Topaz. We are an aberration of the changelings. Idle, that isn't fair. Idle, that isn't fair. I have 9 years of experience convincing people to watch Precure and have a 95% success rate. Well, I guess I'm just the 5%. Hey, Knox, can you say idle? I don't know who I am. I don't know how I got here, but all I know is I must swear by... I don't know who I am. I don't know how I got here, but all I know is I must swear by order. Or just say, ha, I'm... Oh, that's true. Never... Yeah. Idle, that is... Topaz, where are you? She was trying to make him feel better. I know. It's just really hard to do a sad voice in Topaz because it's so high. Because I only know how to do sad by making it more low. But then she'll dip into every other voice that I do. She doesn't like him beating himself over stuff he has no control over. Yep, exactly. Exactly. Also, I have an issue, V. I have a comment on the newest chapter. I have a comment. Topaz Showers, where are you? Exactly. Just slow down how she said. Oh, okay, fair enough. She sounds like she's incapable of being sad sounding. I just want to point out this little tongue twister that you put at the end of the last chapter. Are there any other horrors you're going to unveil on me? Like, granted, now that I'm reading this, it's not as much of a tongue twister. But I'm like, I feel like there should be a that in there. Are there any horrors that you're... Are there any other horrors that you're going to unveil on me today? Speak it and I shall deny it. That is my issue. I was also going to catch you out for MRE, but that was part of a joke, and I'm like, why did he put 2 E's on MRE? It doesn't work. It works in a written form, but it works better during an audio reading, and that's great. I can't wait to get to that chapter. Idle. That isn't idle. That isn't fair. V is going to make you go deeper down the rabbit hole. I mean, I make myself go down the rabbit hole, so I don't think V needs any help in that I don't think V needs to help me in that matter. I thought it was so clever seeing a typo, then it gets addressed immediately after. Exactly. That is me. That was me during that. Because even if it's not capitalized, I'll still pronounce it as an MRE. I wouldn't be thinking Emre. An Emre. It's an Celeste, you must never know. Such good stuff. What? Idle? Why do you gotta be so sus? Oh no. Idle sus. I've had MREs once, and they were pretty good. They were also 60 years expired, so or maybe not. They were definitely expired MREs, and our camp counselors were fearing for our lives, but we were teenagers and at scout camp, so we didn't care. Idle. That I keep on wanting to put in that, even though there is no stuttering in this. Idle. That isn't fair. Something along those lines. Idle. That isn't fair. Idle is very sus, never forget. Yes. He is super sus, which means sustainable. Oh gosh, there's a whole myth, and it's very long. Google, get out of my way. I don't care what was removed from desktop. Just let me read. Dang it. I love how every god uh, of horses, it's usually Epona in fanfics. It's always Epona. Okay, I'll have to read that after stream, but yeah. 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 Sus this, sus that. They will never find your body once I sabotage reactor. Idle. That. Idle. Idle. It's hard to draw out a word when you don't have a vowel to draw out, just because idol. Because that's not how I speak. I cut out a lot of vowels. So it's hard to draw out something that doesn't have a vowel, and you can only draw out a vowel. But yeah, I totally get what you're talking about, All Star. It's just hard when you don't have idle, idle, I, idle. Do I just not know how to convey emotions? This is probably very true. Idle. 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 A little. Topaz is just going to have permanent voice crack the more times I read this line. He's going too deep in the character. You mean, do you have emotions, or do you fake them so good you fool yourself? Probably. Who knows? He's going too deep in the character. Water. Just some good old water. Idle. What even was that voice? More interesting than practicing for my strats, my SATs at least. It's water. Water. Yeah, I'm saying it's water. It's good old water over here. I'm drinking here. I'm drinking here. It's called water. It's delicious. It's delectable. Stats test? This must be another UK thing. Unless you're talking about the SATs. Or the ACTs. Or maybe both. Who knows? Water. Water. That's water. Wait, hold on. Oh my gosh. Lux, no. With the... Don't do that. It's bad for your eye. Water. I keep saying, are you just going to keep on putting water in the chat? And I'll just keep saying it? Because I will. I will keep saying water. Because that's how that's pronounced, is water. 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 Got some good old water. Even though it was water. Water. Yeah, water. That's that's what I usually say is water. I don't know where you're getting T's from. Why? Wah. Water. Gotta get some water in here. All stars secretly from a coalition of Waluigis. You what? You what, mate? You what, mate? Idle. Idle? That isn't fair. Water. Wah, but it means sus. No. All right, I'm going to say that Demo is a pretty pony. Yep, there we go. Boopity boop boop. But how was that for a Topaz? Idle. Idle. That's not fair. That's not fair, Idle. How can you do this to yourself? How is it not? We have no future. We have a fragment of a past. We all grow old, we all die, and there will never be a new generation for us. Oh, the microphone was too far away. The microphone was way too far away. Ah! Lyra, that kills people. My microphone's failing. No. No. Hey. Lyra, that kills people. Today on Equi squeaks like a cat. That kills people, Idle. No, Idle. 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 Idle? I can't get out of that voice now. Want to invest in my new logging business? No, no logging business on my territory. Idle, idle, idle. No, just no. This is how again to Topaz's character, and she's just always telling Idle, just exasperated at Idle, is pure Topaz. Topaz's exasperation over Idle's antics is great. More of a slash and you must do that voice now. On how to speak as a character whilst the creator sits on the side and laughs at both of us. You must do that voice now. Everfree. I mean, you would have an issue. You'd have issue going forward is that animals will defend their home, and then you have a spirit backing up those animals. You're gonna feel you're feeling like you're gonna have a bad time about it. Idle. There we go. Idle. 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 That isn't fair. That isn't fair. That isn't fair. Oh man, that's the spear of justice. Get the heavy flamethrower. No, wait. Nothing explosives. Gosh, why are you all talking about bombing the Everfree? It's a good forest. It's a poor forest that will defend itself. Burn the heretics. No. Idle. 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 I was trying to go for like she's taken aback by like how mean he is to himself. Like, idle, that's not fair. That's not fair to yourself. Beat Dr. Choppy. There's a lot of talk for someone in salt cannon range. Gosh. You would defend the Everfree with high explosives. Sweet. Idle. That isn't fair. That isn't fair for yourself or for others. I don't know that acronym. That's an acronym that is a foreign acronym to me, Justin. I'm sorry. I don't get pop culture half the time. What's TGAP? I don't know. We need more land. No, you don't. Not even close. But hear me out, demo. If you bomb the Everfree, where's all the animals going to go to? Just because you bomb the homeland doesn't mean that there's not going to be timberwolves and cockatrices and rockadills seeking out revenge. And then poor Stephen Magnet on top of it. You would bomb poor Stephen Magnet? Where's the giant Mansley? Yes, exactly. Oh, where's the Giant Mansley? That's a good movie. Idle. That isn't fair. That I'm going to go with that reading. Idle. Idle. That isn't fair. That isn't fair. Yeah. How is it not? We have no future. We have a fragment of a past. We all grow old, we all die, and there will never be a new generation for us. There hasn't been a problem with exiles before, though. There hasn't been an There hasn't been a problem with new exiles before, though. Once every what, few months or so? Few months or so? Idle and Crusader armor would probably look really cool. Yes, I do concur. Idle, where is my voice tonight, Idle? Idle, this does not sound like me, Idle. How dare Equi could not voice simple. All right. Let's see. There hasn't been a There hasn't been a problem with new exiles before, though. Once every what? Few months? 2 months or There hasn't been a problem with new exiles before, though. Once every what? Few months or so? Idle, stop messing with my voice. Once more, are we breaking Nux? I mean, you assume that I haven't already been broken. Show warning when you remove items. Yeah, I have everything set up so that you can stop warning me, and you still warn me. Why? Why is this still recording? No, no, no! Stop it! Stop it, back up and sync. Get out of here. I don't want to talk to you. Get out of here. Gosh, why is why is this going so wrong? Okay, where was it? Boop. What, few months or so? More than that, but not by much. More than that, but not by much. We are reliant upon more exiles, a generation with none, and we cease to exist. Not even a memory to guide the next. Everything I have tried to do for us, it means nothing. Putting that into words hurt. Hurt more than I ever expected. The hive could not benefit from my actions. It works well for making weapons and for making wagons and walls for trenches. Why are you making trenches? Backup and Sync do be harassing Nox. Yes, Backup and Sync do be harassing me. I've set it up. I've set it up so I can stop seeing these notifications, and they're still harassing me. No. Oh, Idle. Oh, Idle. I love my queen. I can't not love her. She is the queen and she knows best. A tear escaped me. I could grieve at least. But I think I hate her a little too. In this too, I have failed. Topaz said nothing but embraced me. Warmth flowed from her, emotional and physical. She offered sympathy with only a little pity. She shared my pain, and that made it bearable. It wasn't much, but to a changeling whose world had been shaken so badly over the course of so few days, it was everything. Boom! I finished a chapter! Woo! Yay, I still finished it! Somehow! Somehow I still finished it. Finally! Also, as is tradition, I will also paste the chapter art into the livestream related chat. Woo! Really went all in for the end chapter. I only had a few paragraphs. Now to retroactively edit the chapter to make it longer. No! It's already a 16-minute chapter. No. You think idle would be a part of the decay? Maybe. You think idle would be a puddle of decay? Of the decay? Yeah. Oh, gosh. Well, now, I've said, sorry, unfortunate son, you're in the stream where it was like one of the saddest chapters. Also, I'm still... Hey, this is a long chapter. A 16-minute chapter. Let's see, how many words is this? How many words is this chapter? I must know. This is a flu moon. This is a long chapter. This is a very long chapter. Bard at the moon. Flu moon and empty heart. Okay, so maybe not that long, but still. How did I finish Encore in one setting? And a flu moon and an empty heart took ages. What's wrong with me? Cold Brew's even longer than this one. It's going to take 3 streams. I don't know. Hey, no, you're accurate, but I still have to defend my honor. We probably distracted you less. Probably very true. Although that's what I love about these streams, so I'm still going to do it. Oh man, so close to the Discord chapter, and then I'll really be able to go ham. Oh gosh. Speaking of which, I need to update something. Trello. I have to log in. No. No! And launch. The first hour or so of this was entirely taking you on tangents. The entire first 2.5 hours were me talking on tangents. So, I mean, that's besides the point. We definitely chatted about quite a bit of things this stream. Mostly because you guys are getting way too good at getting me on tangents. At this point, I'll probably never finish the story. And now I can add on Flu Moon to my editing list. And chapter 65, the real McCoy. How do I spell McCoy? 2 C's. Okay. Yes, I tried to spell McCoy with 1 C. Fight me. McCoy. And who knows, maybe I'll just bring you in on the editing because I'm terrible at doing that on my own. Did you know that SpongeBob wasn't a venture before Patty Flipper? I don't know what Patty Flipper is, but cool. Yeah. Oh man, that was definitely a good long stream. Again, congrats to V for his uncleness. Now he can say one more thing without anyone giving him crap for it. uh, and thanks to all y'all who follow me to watching Weird Pony just screaming in front of a mirror, in front of a recording mic. Who knows? This might actually be doing evil. He can do double dad jokes now. Uncle jokes. Yes. Uncle jokes are just double dad jokes. Does that mean Idol is now in perfect range to be the cool uncle? He has evolved, yes, into something even greater. Uncle jokes. I love a good uncle joke. An uncle joke is great. But in any case, thank you all for coming out here. I greatly appreciate every single one of you. And I no stream next week because I'm going to be out of town. Possibly the week after. The only reason I didn't do streams the last few weeks was because I was working closing shifts on Saturday and I can't do Saturday closes and then live streams. Just too much. Unless you guys are okay with me starting a stream at like now or maybe like at 6 or something like that. But I know most of you live like in time zones that benefit from like 4 to 6 instead of like a 6 to 10 kind of deal. I know I'm talking the mountain time because mountain time is the only true time zone. But you know, a parrot would never allow this sort of behavior. Good thing I'm a grunkle. Nice. In any case, thank you all again, and I shall see you hopefully soon. I'm going to maybe do next stream as an editing stream, or I might move those to like Tuesday nights, Monday nights, or Tuesday nights kind of deal. You might even get 2 streams a week from me. Who knows? It all depends on how I feel about things. I might do a test run eventually. But in any case, I'm going to get some footage because I still haven't eaten yet today. So I'm going to peace. Thank y'all.